What if the most powerful weapon you possess is not the one you hold in your hand, but the one between your ears? Imagine standing in the heat of battle, where every strike, every movement is calculated, and every emotion is under control. Now picture yourself in the face of life's greatest challenges, your relationships, career, and personal struggles. What if, like the legendary samurai Miyamoto Musashi, you could master your emotions and achieve victory in all areas of life? In this video we explore Musashi's timeless philosophy on mastering emotions, not by fighting them, but by embracing them. Miyamoto Musashi, born in 1584, was a legendary swordsman who fought over 60 duels, remaining undefeated throughout his life. His physical prowess in battle was unmatched, but it wasn't just his strength or skill that made him a master of the blade, it was his unparalleled mental clarity. In a world ruled by warriors, Musashi understood that the greatest battles are fought within the mind. The samurai, after all, were not just warriors, they were philosophers, artists, and poets. Their training went beyond the physical. It was about mastering the internal battlefield. Musashi's teachings, found in works like the Book of Five Rings and Ducato, are more than just strategies for sword fighting. They are a roadmap for mastering the mind and, by extension, our emotions. We all experience emotions, joy, anger, fear, sadness, but what happens when they begin to control us? Musashi understood that emotions are like an invisible force, always present, always pushing and pulling us in different directions. He knew that the key to mastering them was not to suppress or ignore them, but to understand them. The modern world teaches us to either react or suppress. We react by allowing our emotions to control our actions, or we suppress them, burying them deep inside. But neither of these responses leads to mastery. They are instinctual reactions, and they can derail us from our path. Musashi's approach, however, was different. What if, instead of reacting or suppressing, we welcomed emotions as they are? What if we observed them without judgment and allowed them to pass without letting them define our actions? Mushin, the way of the clear mind. One of Musashi's core teachings was the concept of mushin, which translates to mind without mind. It's the state where you are free from the clutter of thoughts, desires, and attachments. When your mind is clear, free from the noise of emotions and expectations, you are able to act with precision, intention, and clarity. In this state, you are no longer controlled by your emotions. Instead, you see them for what they are, temporary feelings that come and go. Mushin allows you to respond to situations consciously, not impulsively, enabling you to act in alignment with your goals rather than reacting out of fear, anger, or frustration. Imagine approaching life's challenges with a clear mind, where your actions are driven not by fear or impulse, but by calm, deliberate thought. This is the essence of emotional mastery. Fudo, the path of immovability alongside Mushin. Musashi also practiced Fudo, which means immovability. This principle is about staying grounded and stable, no matter what external pressures you face. It's not about being rigid or unchanging, but rather about developing such mental fortitude that no external circumstances can shake your inner peace. In today's world, we face constant stress, pressure, and conflict. But Musashi's concept of Fudo teaches us that true strength comes from within. By cultivating inner stability, we can remain unshaken even in the face of adversity. One of Musashi's most famous duels was with Sasaki Kojiro, a skilled swordsman known for his speed and precision. The legend goes that Musashi arrived 3 hours late for the duel, with the sun setting behind him. He appeared unprepared, holding a wooden staff instead of his katana, which angered Kojiro. In a moment of frustration and pride, Kojiro charged at Musashi, allowing Musashi to strike the fatal blow. Musashi had mastered his emotions to such an extent that he could remain calm and unaffected by the anger and pride of his opponent. By exploiting Kojiro's emotional reaction, Musashi turned the tide of the battle in his favor. This duel is a perfect example of the power of emotional control. While Kojiro's ego and anger clouded his judgment, Musashi's mental clarity allowed him to remain calm and calculated, ensuring his victory. Practical application: mastering your emotions in daily life. So, how can we integrate Musashi's teachings into our own lives to master our emotions? The first step is to remove expectations. As Musashi wrote, peace of mind equals reality minus expectations. The more we expect, the more we set ourselves up for disappointment and emotional turmoil. Next, we must accept the idea that mental stability is not a destination, but a path. Every day is an opportunity to cultivate emotional resilience and clarity, whether it's through mindfulness, meditation, or simply taking a moment to observe our emotions without judgment. We can practice Mushin and Fudo to keep our minds clear and focused. Finally, we must understand that our emotions are not our enemies. They are simply signals, and by observing them without reacting, we gain the power to choose our response. By owning our emotions and acknowledging them without letting them dictate our actions, we regain control of our lives. In the end, Miyamoto Musashi's legacy isn't just about swordsmanship, it's about mastering the mind and in turn, mastering life. His teachings remind us that our greatest battles are not fought with swords or fists, but within our own hearts and minds. By mastering our emotions, we unlock the potential to achieve victory, not just in battle, but in every aspect of life. It requires practice, patience, and a willingness to face our emotions head-on without fear or judgment. Like Musashi, we must be willing to embrace the path of mental clarity and emotional fortitude. When we do, we will be able to navigate the storms of life with the same calm and precision that made Musashi one of the greatest warriors in history.